And if you just grab any equipment that you might need, so you might want to grab a blanket or just something light for you for Shavasana, a pillow or some cushions, some blocks if you have them, or books even, and a bolster if you have a long bolster or a long cushion, long pillow, that's perfect as well to use. Just any extra bits of support, and you might want an eye mask as well. So if you just grab any of those little bits and set yourself up, we're going to start from a seated position. So if you just make your way to a comfortable seat. So this week, finishing last week here with our focus around the heart space and really bringing that lovely energy into the heart space to shift any of the heaviness of winter and start to bring more energy into our system for that change of season into spring. And also to just enliven us out of that kind of slumbering state of winter and start to just bring us into this little bit of movement and momentum forward. So when we work around the heart, doing a little bit of work in lateral, side body opening and back bending, we're really stimulating energy directly into the heart, the lung, and into the heart chakra. So building up energy into the heart space brings much more vitality into the body, allows us to feel much more vibrant. It builds our immune system, but it's also energizing into our connection to the world, internal and external. So the heart is the place where we meet other hearts, we meet the world around us. And when we start to bring focus into this space, we're really tuning into how are we expanding more into the world. So just last week here, focusing on the heart, and then we're moving into a new theme for next month. So we'll start with just a little bit of breathing to stimulate some energy into the heart and to just connect into that space. So coming into any cross-legged or Siddhasana, any comfortable position with the legs. And if you can, elevate your hips up a little bit higher, just so your pelvis has a bit more space, just tilt forward slightly so you can breathe more fully into the belly. So pure breathing is breathing into the heart and chest. So normally I'd ask you to breathe a 3-part breath, which is belly, ribs and chest. But when we're breathing pure breathing, we're just looking at expanding the width of the rib cage and opening more into the upper chest, into the center of the heart. So as we breathe in, we want to really expand all the way around the side body, the front and the back of the heart. And then as we exhale, as usual, draw the navel back to the spine to help really push the oxygen out of the lungs. So finding a nice tall spine, really relaxed through your legs, nice and soft through your shoulders. You can have the palms either down or up, whatever feels most comfortable for your body. But just roll the shoulders up and back behind you to really open up the heart space. And then gently close down through the eyes or have a soft gaze towards the floor and start to draw your attention into the heart space. Take a few rounds of breath, just naturally, not changing anything at all, just feeling your breath as it is here. And just notice if there's any points that you're feeling the breath move more fully into. So it might be more in the belly, maybe more in the ribs, back body, upper chest. Just take note of where you feel the breath move in your body. And tuning into any points in the torso that feel a little sticky or resistant, if there's any tension or the breath doesn't really move into that point of the body, just tune into those spaces. Nice. Take a full and clearing exhalation. And we'll start with pure breathing on your next inhale. Feel the rib cage widen, the upper chest lift and space in the center of the chest and back of the heart. And then as you exhale the breath, pull the navel back to the spine. So you're really emptying the breath out and engaging the abdominal muscles. And feel the upper chest and rib cage relax back to center. Again, a nice deep breath into the heart space. Feel it widen and open and lift. And then as you exhale, really drawing back the navel to the spine and feeling all of the chest and the shoulders, the rib cage soften back towards the midline of your body. So breathing in this way and just trying to find a nice balance between your in and your exhale. So you can intuitively count the breath for around 4 to 6 seconds or counts in and out. Just finding a nice equilibrium between your in and your exhale. You don't have to count, but just generally feeling into and intuitively reading that the breath feels balanced. And really looking to smooth the breath out. So there's no jolting, there's no pausing. The breath feels nice and smooth, both on the inhalation and the exhalation. Allowing a real depth to the breath as well. So expanding into your fullest capacity, but also exhaling to your fullest capacity. So allowing the body to really expand and contract on each round of breath. Trying to take in as much prana, as much energy as you can, but also clearing it all out. And allowing the breath to feel very calm and quiet. So an almost silent breath. So it can still be deep, but doesn't need to make much sound. If you can move towards a more silent breath, you're just bringing that quality now into the mind as well. Much more internalizing and calming for the mind. And last point, allowing the inhalation to flow into the exhalation, which flows into the inhalation. No gaps between the in and exhale. Trying to make it as seamless as you can. Balanced, smooth, deep, silent, and seamless. Just a couple more rounds here of pure breathing, connecting into your heart center. And releasing the technique, just allow yourself to return to a natural, effortless breath and notice if there's any more space or ease in your breath around the heart space. Just a couple of rounds here, just allowing yourself to settle in to a more natural, effortless breath. Maybe noticing a sense of vibrancy or vitality just by changing the way that we move the breath in the body. Really, really simple ways of changing our energy, changing our mood. Nice. So when you're ready to, just gently flicker and open the eyes, and we'll move into a first shape, which will be Sphinx pose. So just clearing anything off of your mat that's in your way. And you can come to lay down onto your belly. So come to an all fours position. Take your knees back and slowly let yourself roll down to the floor. You may want to use a blanket here just to give you a little bit of support, and you may also like to use a block. So keep those handy and you can utilize those. You want your elbows just slightly further forward of your shoulders, forearms to the floor. You can either have palms flat or palms together, maybe even holding around the biceps, or another nice way is to just rest the head into the hands or onto the chin onto the hands. If you wanted to add a little bit of support here, you can take a blanket rolled up just underneath the chest, so you've got a little bit of support into the rib cage area. And if you feel that you need to rest your forehead, quite nice way of letting your head and neck rest if you're sat at a desk or in a chair all day is to just rest your forehead down onto a block. So finding a nice gap between the feet as well. Feet are on the edges of your mat, just to give a little bit of space into your lower back. So we'll be here for around 3 minutes. So find a space that's really nice and restful for you, but you feel the stretch. You want to feel a lovely opening in the abdomen, in the chest. The shoulders are relaxed down the back. Nice space in the neck and shoulders. And you can start to close down the eyes. And again, draw your attention into the heart space. So you're feeling that you're gently projecting the heart forward and allowing the breath to move again into pure breathing. So just stimulating that expansion of the chest. And with each exhalation, really let yourself soften so the muscles aren't doing the work. And you can let yourself really surrender into the shape. So Sphinx is a really lovely pose if you're feeling quite tired. Just bring some more vitality into the chest, into the mind, and also stimulates the kidney meridian line in the back body, which is where we hold our Jing essence, which is our vital life force. Our Jing essence is what moves into every single part of the body. All organs are stimulated by Jing energy, and if we're low in this energy, in this life force, then we feel very fatigued, exhausted easily. The body feels quite depleted, run down. So just by holding this posture a few minutes a day, it can really help to stimulate a sense of vibrancy back into the body and to stimulate the kidney meridian line. So just here for another minute and a half. If it's a little bit too strong, or if you need to come out, you can always stack your forearms and rest your forehead down onto your forearms. So final few breaths here. Maybe seeing if you can make a little bit more space in the spine, in the chest. Last couple of breaths. So if you have any props underneath, you just gently moving those props out to the side. You can separate your elbows a little bit wider, bring the palms to stack on top of each other and rest your forehead down. Just take a moment to let your body rest. And if it feels nice, you can shake the hips, roll the feet in and out, or bend the knees and sway the legs side to side just to release any tension in your lower back. Right, so from here, taking your hands just underneath your shoulders, push into the hands, tuck the toes under, and push up onto all fours. Take a moment in that all fours position and just allow your spine to come into a nice neutral position. And from the back of the waist into your tailbone, feel the spine lengthen down towards the floor. So you're just opening any of the compression that you've just made from that Sphinx pose. Take a breath into that space. And then as you exhale, untuck the toes and push the hips back to come into child's pose. Just a little bit of a counter for the lower back. Keeping the tailbone tucking under. And you can rest your forehead to the floor to a block. The arms can stay stretched out or bring the hands down beside the feet. Just a few moments, few breaths here. So from here, we're moving into the side body, working into the laterals of the body. So if you just lift yourself up slightly so that you can bring your belly to rest onto your right thigh and walk your arms all the way over to the right side of your mat and even potentially off of your mat. But keep your hips down and connected onto your heels. You may need to rest your forehead onto a block. I'm going to keep the arms stretched out. And then just soften back down over that right leg. And allow the breath to move up that whole left side of your body. So as we move into the side body, we're just opening up any stuck energy that may have been trapped just where we're not really breathing consciously into that side, that space of the body, where the arms down by the side for the majority of the day. We often get a lot of energy that kind of gets stuck or trapped, or there's a kind of stagnancy down the sides. So when we allow the breath to really flood into those points, it helps to liberate anything that's stuck there. And it allows much more energy and vibrancy into the body. If there's a stagnancy or if energy is not moving there, if the breath isn't moving into those parts of the body, then we're not really fully utilizing the body as it is. It causes a depletion, or it can cause a sense of fatigue, heaviness, density in the body. So when we go in and really breathe and open those spaces, it just helps to re-embody them, but also to energize them. Just spending a couple more breaths here on this side, maybe seeing if you can expand more into the body there, or just breathe in more deeply into that side. So your next inhalation, gently guide yourself back through to the center. And lift your belly up and over onto the left thigh this time. And continue to walk your arms all the way around to the left. Nice outstretched arms. And then again, you can place your forehead to the floor, just resting it in between the biceps, or you can bring a block underneath your forehead. And then let the breath do the work for you. Just open into that whole right side. Allowing the breath liberate any stuck energy. As we come in and out of shapes, I want to really tune into the edge that we first meet. So when you first come into the shape, you may feel a stop point or resistance point. And then after a few breaths, the body softens, the body opens, and you can go a little bit deeper. So as we go deeper into the shape, we're looking more at the connective tissue, the ligaments, the tendons, the fascia, the joints. And this is where we really want to get into. The superficial layers, the muscles, the skin, is much more yang. And when we're practicing yin, we want to go as deep into the body as we can. So maybe after a few rounds of breath in each shape, you can find more space to move into. So although we're practicing as much stillness as possible, as much surrender as possible, we also want to allow ourselves to keep continually moving and meeting our edge. So when we come to a point that feels the breath is not able to move, the breath is feeling stifled or restricted, then that could be a suggestion that the edge has been pushed too far. So we're always playing with, is this a good range that I'm in? Am I too comfortable, or am I pushing myself too hard? Just tuning into those qualities as well, using the breath to help diagnose what it is that we're actually working with in each shape. We're just here for a few more breaths, not too much longer. Nice. So for your next inhalation, gently guide yourself back through to the center, and you can walk yourself back to a lifted position, either sitting back onto the heels, or you can lift the heels up, lift the hips up and come to an all fours position, or maybe even downward facing dog might feel quite nice to stretch the legs out. So taking any rebound position that feels good for your body, maybe even just lying down or sitting down with the legs extended out in front of you. Taking any position that really helps your body to come back into a nice balance. So rebounds are where we often feel the work that we've just done. So we might feel a shift of energy, we may feel a release, we may notice a point of our body still quite resistant. So really use these transitions in and out of the shapes and the rebound as a point to inquire further and to feel what's changed, feel what's shifted, notice if any more space has opened up. Be really curious about what is happening in your body and tuning into all the different sensations that you're feeling. Just a few more breaths here, taking our time to just rebound and come back into a nice neutral with our body. Nice. So gently coming down to all fours once again. If you have got anything going on with the knees or shins, and it feels a little bit uncomfortable to have no padding, then grab a blanket or some cushions and bring them underneath your knees just to act as a little bit of cushioning. And come more towards the back end of your mat. So toes can be either tucked or untucked, whatever feels most comfortable for you. And just gently start to walk your hands out. So just one step further forward. We're keeping the hips stacked over the knees and pushing slightly back towards the shins. If you can really push into the feet and shins, it's going to keep you nice and grounded. And we want to feel the front body lengthening. So the heart is energizing down towards the floor, but you're stretching the spine forward. Just walking the hands again one more step forward, keeping the legs in the exact same position. The tailbone is almost lengthening down, and you want to feel the crown of your head and your heart shifting further forward. Taking another step forward with the hands, and maybe that's your maximum there, or maybe you can go a little bit further forward. So really long through the body, through the arms, and then gently resting your forehead down to the floor. So if that feels a little bit too strong for you already, you can practice with your forearms to the floor, or you can also take a bolster underneath your chest. So you're working with the chest rested and the forearms down. That's another option. Or you can rest your chest or forehead onto the bolster. You can also practice extended puppy against the wall if that feels more comfortable for you. Just having your feet a little bit further away from the wall, bringing your hands up in line with your shoulders and then pushing back so you're in a V shape against the wall. So you want to really feel that you're energizing back from the hands and the spine is lifting up towards the ceiling, but there's a very gentle lengthening of the tailbone down towards your knees. So you've got that space in your lower back. But the belly and the heart is melting towards the floor. So you're really allowing the spine to drape down. And here's where you can start to really open into the heart space just by the virtue of the shape. We're enabling much more breath into the armpit area, into the side ribs, and also into the upper chest. So nice, full, deep, balanced breath. We're here for about another minute and a half. So if it is a little bit too strong, always allow yourself to come out. But if you can really rest and surrender in, just feeling all those micro shifts in your body, of your body surrendering, but finding that spaciousness within that surrender. So we hold a lot of tension around the neck and shoulders. So just allowing the shoulders to relax down the back in the shape. Even though we've got the arms reached out overhead, we can soften through the trapezius muscles, which is the top of the neck and down the middle of the back, either side of the spine, at the very top part. And feel that energized. And then the side body can lift and support the shoulder girdle. And you want to feel that the shoulder blade at the back of the body is really pushing into the back to help open the heart and also support the arms and shoulders. Just here for about another 8 or so breaths. Just taking a final round of breath here. And then pushing into your hands, squeeze your core muscles and slowly start to pad yourself back to either an all fours position, or you can sit back onto your heels and just take a moment to allow your spine to realign and for your head and your hips to feel neutral. Relax through the shoulders, relax the arms. Effortless breath. Just watching, observing all around the heart space. Okay. So we're going to come to lay down onto our back to the next one, and you'll want to have your bolster to the left side of your body, or you can use some cushions or blocks. We want to support the lower leg, so from the knee down to the foot you want supported, and we're coming into a twist from here. So if you bring yourself into the middle of your mat and just roll yourself down to the mat, you can hug your knees into the chest, round your head, neck, shoulders off the mat. Just relax your shoulders, and then slowly lay your head back down. Relax through the shoulder blade so you feel nice and wide through your upper back. Extend your left leg all the way out long. Hold on to the right shin. Just flex the left toes back to the shin and kick out through the heel as you draw that right knee into the body. So we want to work with the twist quite high up towards the chest. So as you give your legs a good stretch here, it's going to help you get more twist and more leverage in your hip. So you can take your right arm out to the side, either cactus the arm, so you're bending the elbow and the hand is sort of in line with your head, or you can take the arm out wide into a T shape. Hand is just below the shoulder if you're taking that variation. Take a nice deep breath in, and with your left hand, guide the leg over to your left side. So you want to bring the bolster up to support the knee, the shin, and the foot, so the whole leg is supported. So you may need to just shuffle back through that left hip, so you feel your hips are stacked even though they're in a twist. And you want to turn a little bit deeper through the breastbone, so you're really softening your right shoulder back down to the earth. If that right shoulder is lifting up and away from the floor, grab a blanket or a low cushion and prop that shoulder up so you've got something to rest down onto. So higher up the knee is, the more twist we get in the upper body. So the lower down the knee, the more twist we get in the lower body. So draw that knee up high, and then you can really shuffle through your upper back so that right shoulder blade is down, and then looking over your right shoulder if that feels okay for your neck and spine. And just rest in here. This time we want to breathe a little bit more deeply into the belly. So as you inhale, let the belly expand and contract. So drawing the navel back to the spine again as you exhale the breath out. Nice. We're not here for too much longer. We want to just activate the twist, but not to stimulate the body. Just taking around another 6 to 8 breaths here. Nice deep full belly breaths. The final breath here. All right, the next inhalation, guide your head back through to center. Allow yourself to slowly roll onto your back. Just take a moment on your back. You can bring your feet to the floor, knees bent. Shuffle your hips back into center and take a moment to just feel into the twist. And then moving your prop over to the right side. Drawing both knees back into the body. Give yourself a nice big squeeze. Let go of your right leg, extend that out long and flex the foot. Really stretch the legs in opposite directions, taking nice deep breaths. Let's keep hold of the shin in the right hand, take the left arm out to the side, cactus or T shape. A deep breath in. And as you exhale, guide the left leg over to the right. You may need to shuffle through that right hip and the shoulder blades. Support the leg. Take as many props underneath the leg as you need so that you feel really supported and comfortable. That left knee is coming up closer towards the chest so you can get a real deep twist through the upper back. And then if it feels good for you, you can look across to your left shoulder. Remembering a deep belly breath here, nice full deep breaths down into your belly. Just here for about another minute and a half. Really allowing your body to surrender. Just the last few breaths here. Final round of breath. And then head turns first. Inhale to slowly roll onto your back. And gently bring your feet to the floor, knees bent. Realign through the hips, the spine. Just take a few moments here on your back. The twist are much more grounding, balancing, starting to bring the mind down. So we opened up, put around the heart, and you want to keep that lovely expansion, that lovely vitality, but in a grounded way. So just one more pose to really ground us in. And we'll finish with Apanasana. So very, very easy, effortless shape to hold. You can either hold around the shins, like the knees, or you can hold around the back of the thighs and gently draw the knees into the chest. If you've got more space, you can take the elbows around the knees and hold on to the forearms and draw the knees in that way. And again, we want to breathe in a nice deep belly rhythm. Slow, balanced, deep breaths into the belly. Just allowing for some countering of the twist. some symmetry. Also, forward folds really stimulate the movement of energy downward. So just bringing the energy back down to earth, back into the root. And really harnessing in all that lovely heart opening. So we don't really have to do much. We don't have to do too many postures to really get a good effect from our practice. All we need to know is the energetics of what we're doing physically and allow the breath to do the rest of the work. So with a deep belly breath, we're stimulating the parasympathetic nervous system to go into rest, digest. And when we're working with more of the pure breath, the breath around the heart, this is stimulating the sympathetic. So it's telling us to revitalize, energize. It gives us more energy. Just here for a few more rounds of breath, not too many more. Nice, final round of breath. And then we'll move into Shavasana from here. So if you wanted to add some props to your last shape, you can take a bolster underneath the back of your knees. You might like to take some blocks underneath your feet just to elevate the feet a little bit higher. You may like to take a cushion or a rolled up blanket underneath the back of your head. And you may like to take an eye mask over your eyes and maybe a blanket over your body. So just setting yourself up to come into a nice restful space. Making sure that the shoulder blades feel nice and wide, your spine feels long. You can take a bit of space between the arms and the body, and the palms want to be facing up towards the ceiling, so you keep the heart space open. And just push down into the back of the hands, the arms, and lift the heart space up. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and shuffle the shoulder blades down the back. And then slowly rest your chest back down to the floor. Legs can fall out gently towards the side, no gripping, no holding in any of the muscles through the legs. The knees are soft. Just the last few moments here, focusing on your breath. So as you inhale, drawing energy from outside of your body through the skin. Inhale the breath into the spine. And then as you exhale the breath from the spine, see energy move out internally, flooding with this energy, or you can see it as a light, into all of the cells, atoms of your body. So again, your inhale is pulling energy, prana, life force, oxygen, from the ether, the space around you, through your skin, into the center of your body, into your spine, lighting or flooding the spine up with prana. And as you exhale the breath, move the energy from the spine out into the internal cells of your body. Very slowly and gently you begin to remember your breath. A nice deep breath into the belly, into the heart. Gently sigh the breath out. Energize your body more. Start to wiggle your fingers, your toes. If you had an eye mask on, just moving the eye mask slowly off, but keeping your eyes closed. Make some nice stretches through your feet, your hands, your arms, your legs. Maybe turning your head side to side, stretching out the neck and shoulders. And then rolling off to one side, you can draw your knees into the chest or feet to the floor. And just roll onto a side that feels comfortable. Pause for a few breaths. Feeling your breath move into the back of your heart. And using your top hand, gently press yourself up to a comfortable seated position. You can use your bolster once again. Cushion, a prop, just to lift your hips up. So we'll just finish with a little bit of breath work and meditation, just to seal everything into lovely focus into the heart space. Just closing down through the eyes and start to draw your attention into your heart center. So again, working with pure breathing, feeling the heart and chest expanding as you inhale and the navel drawing back to the spine with each exhalation. Take a full exhalation, clear the breath. And for the next inhale, breathing in for a count of 4, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4, 2, 3, 4. Inhale to the chest, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, navel back to the spine, 3, 4. Inhale, chest expands and widens. Exhale, navel back to the spine, really hollow the breath out. Inhale to the chest. Exhale, navel. Continuing on with a few more rounds. Inhaling and exhaling for 4. Nice, just taking one more round. And after your next exhalation, we'll repeat the breath, but we'll add a retention in the middle. So inhaling for 4, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath in for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale the breath for 4, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, chest, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath in, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale the breath, navel back to spine, 3, 4. Inhale to the chest for 4. Hold the breath in for a count of 6. And exhale the breath for 4. Continue on just 5 more rounds. Inhaling chest, 4. Holding the breath in the chest for 6. Nice calm mind, relaxed shoulders. and exhaling out for a count of 4. So just bringing a little bit more energy into the heart space, stimulating pranvayu, energy that moves from the heart out, stimulating circulation, blood flow through the heart and lungs. Just another 2 more rounds. Once you finish that round, allow your breath to return back to a natural pace, nice balance in and exhalation. Just intuitively know that the breath is balanced. No need to control or change the breath at all, just allowing it to be completely effortless. Draw your attention directly into the center of your heart. And in that space, seeing a small flame around the size of an almond directly in the center of your chest. And with each inhalation, see the almond-sized flame glow bigger and brighter so that it fills up the whole of the chest. And as you exhale, the flame comes back down into the small almond size. So just watching the expansion and contraction of this flame directly in the center of your heart space, just feeling the energy of this light moving as you move with your breath. As you breathe, allow your breath to become much more subtle and quiet. So it feels that you're almost moving into a breathless state. Just watching how the light, the flame, still grows and expands and shrinks and contracts. Even without the focus on your breath, it still has an intelligence of its own. Feel the light as an intelligence, a healing, a power. Now allow your attention to go directly into the center of the light. So you're going directly into the center of your heart space where the light is residing. And start to see the light all around you and all within you. So there's no edges of your body. It's just pure light all around. And feel yourself really merging with this light. Again, your edges blur and you feel pure light all around you, within you. And as you merge with this light, as you merge with this flame internal, you come to realize that you are this light. The flame inside is you. The spark of energy is your essence. Allow yourself to rest and merge completely into this internal light. Just resting here in the contentment of the light, the wisdom, the healing, and the power that this light brings. And as you rest here in this space, really feeling into a deep sense of contentment, of joy, of bliss, rising up from just being in this space. In the light of your heart, that deep sense of contentment and self-fulfilling joy, free from all desires or needs or wants. That is Ananda Shakti, self-fulfilling joy and contentment. Just rest here for a few more breaths. Gently release all technique and bring hands into prayer in front of the heart space in Anjali Mudra. And just take a moment to breathe deep into the heart space. Keeping hold of that sense of contentment, of joy, of bliss. That is you at your natural state. That is your essence. And when you connect into the light of your heart, this vitality, this sense of power, intelligence, healing, we can connect back into this sense of deep joy, contentment and bliss. That is you at your natural state. Just taking a final breath here into the heart space, and as you exhale, gently round down the head in gratitude to yourself, to the practice of yoga, and to each other for sharing this space. Namaste.